Hi, you want to learn how to code? Then you have come to the right place. Over what you need to get started. What programming languages to learn, where to learn these languages. How long it's going to get job ready. Along with a few tips for your first interviews. Now, this video is for beginners who want to learn how to code. If you're an intermediate programmer, this video is probably not for you. Now, before we begin, I would like to tell you about the common misconception about programmers that they are all genius-level eggheads with superhuman math skills and 4-digit IQs. That is not true. You don't need to be a math genius. What you need are focus and determination. If you're going to be a coder, you should be able to focus. Programming is all about problem solving, and solving problems takes time. Sometimes you might be working on a single piece of code for hours or even days. If you check your Twitter or watch cat videos every 20 minutes, you're not going to be able to focus as a coder. You'll be spending hours and hours in front of a computer screen looking at code like this. And it's important to ask yourself, is this something you like? I know it's not for everyone, but some people like me love to code. If you want to become an awesome coder, you need to fall in love with code. The second characteristic you'll need is curiosity and passion for learn. Because software and coding languages are constantly being updated and improved. You will have to learn new things all the time. It never stops. So you should read new articles, books, or watch online courses every now and then to get up to speed with what's happening in the industry. What about education? Well, a decade ago, having a degree in computer science was the only way to get into the programming industry. But these days, the barrier of entry is much lower for many companies. It's your level of proven technical skill that will get you the job, not your degree. I personally was never asked about my degree in any of my interviews. What mattered is that I could do the work. So while some people like to go to a university, I personally think it's a waste of time and money. Even though I have a master's degree myself, most university programs for software engineering take 3 to 4 years, cost tens of thousands of dollars, and tend to waste a lot of time teaching outdated or irrelevant subjects like physics or biology. Furthermore, in my experience, you're more likely to be taught by PhD students looking to make some pocket change as opposed to someone with real industry experience. As a result, a lot of students spent 4 years in a university graduate with $30,000 in student loan debt and realize that they can't even build a simple application. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. Universities can be a good place to make connections and become well-rounded. But if you want to learn to code well enough to get a job, you'll have to learn that skill on your own. University is not going to teach you that, I promise. So how to learn? The good news is that there are a ton of books and online courses out there and any number of subjects. The coding community is very large and very supportive. So if you're looking to get into coding, there's a whole world of educational resources at your fingertips. So you can decide what you want to learn and pursue that. You won't need to waste time studying irrelevant subjects and paying for them. Now, what programming languages should you start with? This is pretty subjective, and it depends who you ask and what you want to build. A lot of people tell beginners to learn HTML and CSS. But these are really not programming languages. They're markup languages that we use to describe what a website or mobile app looks like. So if you want to become a programmer, you really need to learn a programming language that you can use to define how an app works. We have several programming languages out there, such as JavaScript, C++, C#, Java, Python, Ruby, PHP, and so on. Each language has its own pros and cons for it. Example: if you're going to build something where performance is a critical factor, you would probably want to use C++. But on the flip side, that comes with a cost of maintenance because C++ is a complex language. If you want to build an iPhone app, you will have to learn Swift, and you also need a Mac computer for Android. You will have to learn Java or Catlet. My recommendation to you is not to get hung up on these differences between programming languages. Once you learn the language, you can always learn another programming language much faster because all these languages have pretty much the same foundation. So out of all these languages, I recommend you to learn Python because first of all, it's the most beginner-friendly language. So you can easily learn the fundamentals of programming. It's versatile. So you can use it for a wide range of jobs such as web or mobile development as well as data science or hacking. So you will have more job opportunities compared to, let's say, C++. It's cross-platform. So you don't need a Mac computer. You can run it on Windows, Mac or Linux, and on an average Python developers earn more according to Indeed.com. The average salary of a Python developer is $116,000 a year. But of course, that requires having additional skills. So it's not like you read one Python book and done $160,000 a year. No, it doesn't work like that. But learning Python opens up so many opportunities for you. So for now, I would recommend focusing only on Python. One of the common issues I see amongst beginners is that they try to learn so many languages all at once. They learn a bit of Python. But then they hear that JavaScript is pretty hot. So they leave Python and start learning JavaScript. Then someone else tells them about PHP. So they learn PHP too. It's not going to work. It's like trying to learn multiple musical instruments at the same time. This way, you won't be able to play one song on any of these instruments. Learn an instrument first. Make sure you can play a few songs. Then learn a second instrument by the same token. Learn Python first. Make sure you know the fundamentals of programming. Well, build a few applications here and there and then learn a second language. So your first step is learning Python. Once you learn Python, well, then you can focus on a specific area such as web apps, mobile apps, data science, machine learning, and AI, which is going to be pretty big. The good thing about Python is that it's a general-purpose programming language, so you can use it for a wide range of jobs. In contrast, if you learn Swift, all you can do is build iOS apps. That's it. Nothing more. Python gives you more job options. And by the way, you can always learn about other areas. For example, you may want to spend the first 2 years on web development and then you discover that you would like to explore mobile development. That's perfectly fine. As long as you know the fundamentals. Well, you can easily transition to a different area how to learn Python. Well, I have a number of Python tutorials for you here on my channel. My Python tutorial for beginners is a great introduction to Python and teaches you the basics of programming. So I highly recommend you to watch that video to the end. The fun thing about learning coding is that you're constantly doing. You spend 30% of your time studying and the rest on practicing. So it's not like sitting down for 3 hours studying and memorizing something boring like history. You're problem solving. You're thinking of different solutions. You play with your code and see the result. It's not working okay. Try something different. It's very practical. How much time do you need to spend on this? It really depends. But if you can dedicate 2 hours of coding on average every day after 2 to 3 months, you should be fairly comfortable writing basic programs. After that, you will need another 3 to 6 months to specialize in one area such as web development, mobile development or data science. So in total, I would say you need to dedicate 6 to 12 months of your time and studying and practicing programming to become job ready. At that point, you can land your first job as a junior software developer with an average salary of $60,000 to $70,000. Then as you gain more experience in the industry, your resume will start to get more attractive and you can easily ask for $100,000 to $220,000 a year, if not more. So, are you excited to learn programming? If you are, I would encourage you to start by making a commitment to spend 2 hours every day studying and practicing coding, and use the comment box below to let me and everyone else know why you want to learn programming. I would love to hear your story. Now, before you apply for your first job, your resume is empty. You don't have any work history, and that's okay. Don't panic. A lot of people freak out because they don't have any work experience to show. And yes, it is important to some companies, but not every company. There are a lot of companies that hire junior programmers and teach them because it costs them less than getting a senior developer. So in a job interview, they want to know if you're dedicated and a fast learner. There's nothing wrong with being asked a question and saying, "You don't know the answer." Just say that you're a fast learner and you really want to get this job because you love programming and you want to grow. Show them that you're passionate about working with them. This will help you stand out and hopefully get the job that you want. Also, it's really helpful. If you work on some hobby projects as you're learning, think of the websites and apps you use. Often try to build a simpler version of this and put that on your resume. You can upload your code to github.com and include the link on your resume. So that's it for today. I hope this video helps you map out where you are and where you should go next. If you enjoyed this video, please show some love by liking and sharing it. Also subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask me in the comment box below. Thanks for watching and have a great day.